Howdy everybody, this is Roaming Prepper Channel and I'm your host Pete. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to talk about something that agitated me in another one of my videos, and I didn't go into the subject then because I didn't want to get that video flagged, so I might get this one flagged. Just for the record, I'll probably be cursing later in the video, so those of you who do not want to hear that, you may want to stop right now. In any case, I want to talk about China's colonialism. Is that a thing? I'll be right back and let's talk about that. Welcome back everybody, and thank you for joining me today. As I've said before, don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to share, that would be very nice of you. And I typically premiere these videos so you can chat with me online live when the video premieres. But if I can't do that because of work or some other commitment, you can always leave a comment below the video and I will try to answer them in a timely manner. So what am I talking about? Chinese colonialism. Well, for those of you who may not be aware or may have heard about it, China has pushed the Belt Road Initiative for the last few years, and they're going to continue to push it. What they're trying to do is recreate the ancient trade routes, or the Silk Road route that went through Asia into Europe, kind of the same route Marco Polo took going the other way to go get spices from the Far East. They also want to create a maritime route that goes through Malaysia and the South China Sea into India and Sri Lanka, as well as a route to Africa and eventually a route to South America. However, up until recently, this has all been financial, right? They're going to these smaller countries that are struggling with their economy, their infrastructure, and they're making loans to these countries to help them build infrastructure with the condition that China has access to the ports, the railroads, the airports, whatever the case may be. That's all fine and dandy. However, they set up these loans to a point in such a way that these small countries will probably never be able to pay it off, and ultimately China will then own the infrastructure that they help build. Talk about a Ponzi scheme from hell, huh? But here it gets better. Recently, they decided they wanted to go into Afghanistan, and I have an article here from the International Business Times basically saying China's reportedly planning to send troops to Pakistan and Afghanistan as part of its hugely ambitious Belt and Road Initiative so as to protect its interest in these countries. Okay, this is the first time they've openly stated we're going to send troops into these countries. Now notice where they're sending them. Where did we just leave? Afghanistan. After having spent 20 years and God knows how many billions or trillions of dollars, a bunch of lost lives, our troops, our contractors, their people, and we left, and China wants to go in there. Now, we all know that Afghanistan is full of a lot of mineral resources. Unfortunately, it's also full of poppy fields, aka the heroin and opioids. So China wants to be part of this. They want to have a presence there, but they're getting pushback. The BRI is struggling to fulfill China's hopes in Pakistan, the Belt Road Initiative, following which Beijing decided to step up measures. Recently, Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi has offered support the extension of the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. They are now asking, Wang has reportedly demanded the creation of outposts for China, for Chinese forces, for the security of the Chinese projects and the safety of its expatriate citizens. However, it won't be a smooth ride from Beijing, as they expect stiff resistance from local people with regards to stationing of troops there. Now keep in mind, Afghanistan has been in near constant war since the 1970s. And if you think about where it's located between, the Middle East, Asia, and Europe, armies have been going through this part of the world. I mean, hell, even the British had the Afghan wars in the 1800s, followed by the World War II. These people don't want more foreign troops coming to their country. What we did learn during our time in Afghanistan is that they will fight, and they are very good at an asymmetric type of fighting, not an open battlefield. But yeah, we built a bunch of army bases, airfields, etc. We then left, and now China would like to request to use those same bases to consolidate their control over the mineral and other rights in that area. But they're expecting pushback to the contractors, so now they have to get troops in there. This concerns me for a variety of reasons. One, they are putting troops into a corridor, if you will, that will help them extend from China through Tibet, Tibet and parts of Pakistan into the Middle East, and create that belt road that they're trying to create, so that they can have that land trade route they so desire. Unfortunately, it's a very unstable part of the world. People aren't liking that, but the presence of Chinese military assets in a country controlled by the Taliban, which is now kind of friendly with nuclear Pakistan, you can see where this is going to go. That's kind of concerning, and it could open up a can of worms for Europe and the US. More than likely, it could open up a can of worms for China. I actually spoke to a few guys who served in Afghanistan, and the response of one of the guys was, F them, they can have it, and good luck to their shit, because they're going to regret it, is basically what he said. And he's probably not wrong. But where can this go? Well, keep in mind a lot of oil pipelines and a lot of oil fields exist in Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, the mineral rights. China is very desperately trying to get a hold of minerals and oil and gas. Contrary to what we're doing here in the West, where we're trying to get away from oil and gas, China doesn't care. It is one of their biggest weak points, is that if they get into a war, say with the US, hypothetically, and we blockade them, which the US Navy is more than capable of doing, they're going to run out of fuel very quickly. They're trying to circumvent that by having this presence. Now, doesn't affect us here in the West directly, right? Doesn't affect my friends in Australia or South America directly. But what it does do is it introduces a new instability at a time when Russia is having a fight with its neighbor Ukraine, and now you have Chinese troops in proximity to this general area of instability. Keep in mind that Pakistan is not friendly to India. They've had a long-standing feud between them, and India is a very big economic threat to China. Is that going to play out in another way? That's something I hadn't thought of. We're all worried about Taiwan, but are they going to go pick a cat fight with India using Pakistan as a proxy? I don't know, I'm speculating here. But more instability is going to lead to more supply chain issues, higher fuel costs, and it's going to make things much more difficult for folks like us. So continue to watch how this evolves. It may become a big nothing burger, absolutely baby nothing. But what they say here, the situation is no different in Afghanistan too, where both Pakistan and China expected unquestioned cooperation from the Taliban. However, that has not been the case. As for China, the situation may not be as rosy, as the Taliban and the Haqqanis show no interest in handing over the Uyghur, I keep mispronouncing it, Uyghur insurgents to the Chinese authority. And there's another problem. China has treated the Muslim minority so horrendously in their country, they're not going to get a warm and fuzzy welcome from the Taliban, which is where a lot of these insurgents fled to. So I think China's opening up a can of worms for themselves, but in doing so, they may introduce instability to Pakistan, India, or in Afghanistan, which we really don't need. And honestly, we don't need to be there. So keep an eye on this, because they're trying to corner the market on some of these minerals. That can affect our availability of things ranging from solar panels and lithium to other precious metals. So let's see where this goes. But interesting thing going on there. And this is one of the few times I've seen China openly state they would like bases in another country. At the same time, we're asking for bases in those same countries. So remains to be seen. But folks, keep an eye on this kind of stuff. It can cause instability, and that will cause supply chain issues, which will ultimately affect us back at home. So that's your takeaway for this one. Folks, don't forget, if you have any questions, throw them below. And if you have any comments, what are your thoughts on this China going into Afghanistan situation? Is it like a, hey, good luck, homeboy, have fun with that? Or could it be a real problem? I'm interested to hear your takes, so throw your comments below or in the chat, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for joining me, and God bless, Godspeed, and take care of yourself.